I mean, I didn't start it off as a power game, but realized I was very attached to this hat, and I wouldn't give it to him, and it created quite a stir. And then I don't know, it was the next day, the day after, shortly thereafter, I said, I want to get out of here. And which everyone here would be giving first class treatment. People are, going through third class treatment to stay there. And so it wasn't a popular view of the whole thing. And I could care less. I want to get out of here. We had a train ticket to go to Sai Baba's that I had obtained, and I didn't want to. It took me quite a bit of effort to get a first class coupe private, compartment door to go all the way from Mumbai to Bangalore. And I wasn't going to let that ticket go. And so we left. We got when it was still dark, we went outside the gates and this and that. And it's a one-lane road, and then it turns around past that Ganeshpuri, and the buses wouldn't stop. They'd almost run you over. I couldn't get on the bus either way, coming or going. And finally, it was hours later. It was the dawn, and it was daylight and this and that. Swamiji came out, and we could pranam to him because we didn't even say goodbye. We were really out of. I mean, our protocol was horrendous. It was insulting. I was just way too attached. I wasn't, to myself, my comfort, my situation, my agenda. I wasn't trying to insult him, but it was irrelevant. I was not attached to him and being there and this and that. And I didn't want to be there, and I was just doing it as an obligation to this woman who, although my wife wanted to be there, she was, because, like I said, he honored us and come to our home. And this was his first trip. In the end, we introduced him, to Ram Dass and set that, where they got much more involved. But, to me it was meaningless, and which was offensive to everyone else. I wasn't saying anything negative, but I just wasn't on the program. Which, looking back is horrendous. My behavior was horrendous, but I wasn't actively insulting him, but the protocol was, terrible. And anyway, so finally he came out, we pranam to him, and then a second later a bus came around the corner and immediately stopped. And, he had gone back in, he went back in, and the bus came around the corner, stopped, and we were out of it. So it was many, many months later, we first went down to Sai Baba and lived down there and threw a party, etc. And anyway, a long, long time later, we're in the mountains now, and I'm in front of Maharaja, in Crowley Belt. And there's nothing, and I was very manipulative. That's been complimentary, saying past tense, person. and how can I get this person to like me, and how can I affect him, how can I seduce him, and how can, trying to use all my, going through my mind, I want this to happen, what can I do to make it happen, and all this. And what can I give him? I have nothing, and we had some, prasads and fruit, but, you buy it, you give it to him, there's no, real attachment to it. I can't say, there's nothing, I had nothing. This guy didn't want anything from me. I had no tools, I was naked, and so he takes the hat off my head, and internally, this is the whole key, I was completely overjoyed he wanted my hat, that I could give him something. I just flew, over the moon when he took the hat off my head and he put it on his head. And then, he put it back on my head. He didn't want the hat. And then he, asked me about Swami Muktananda. So now the other people didn't know, they weren't there, they didn't know, it was a meaningless thing to him. It was just, it's a hat, it's attractive, you could see it was just like it could have been a Christmas thing or something, and so for me it had a lot of meaning because of this. I was so attached to it, I created this scene, the exact opposite type of thing, but I was just he just took this weight off my heart. And of course he didn't want the hat. It was a stupid hat. It was, I knew he knew.